one, they have one week.
Guys,
Was
it
the
started.
Administrative Assistant to the Director of Finance. Haley McCarthy is going to be taking over from me. She's here with us today. Everybody. Been training her since late July, so maybe even encountered her. Today we're going to be going over the finance portion of your division, how to document things, what reports are due, and how to go about submitting all the reports that your division needs to do in order to get paid. So the important people here, Nicole Harris, when you send in reports to us, she is the first person that receipts your reports, goes through them, accepts them, sends back a letter, or just a receipt that we received it, that's good. Then you get a letter back from her if there's a problem with it, you need something additional. Haley McCarthy, she works more with the purchase card divisions, so Nicole's more the checkbooks. If your division is a purchase card division, the actual best person you want to reach out to is actually Haley. Either one can help you with your questions, but just remember that, depending on the type of your division, one may be better. If you can't get hold of one of them, you can call the other. Valerie Odell, she's our supervisor. She's the Director of Finance. And Kevin Hintz, all the way at the top, Secretary Treasurer of PEF. You may need to reach out to one of these two if you have a special circumstance with your division, whether it's your treasurer is out and you need additional time on a report, or for certain approvals, such as a second card for your division, you'll have to get approval from Kevin Hintz and send him an email justifying that. You just met Christy Furman. She went through with her staff, Jessica Carpenter. They're more the elections portion and the membership listings. So I know you had a lot of questions. We're going to hit on that with the membership list, because we also distribute a list quarterly, which I think will help some of the questions that I did there. Good page there, so if you need to reach out to one of us, send us an email, and get back to it. On our PEF website, all the reports we're going to cover today, you can get the forms online. We mail them to you, but they're always available there. I know it is a little blurry, but she's just going to show you where. Just we're on the website, you can find these forms. At the same time, there's a pink slip with your packets. Just want to make this now. So under the member resources, right off the front page of the website, under division and division documents, if you were to go there, or you don't have a copy of the audit, you need to print off another one. All the reports are here to be printed off. And the first link there is division treasurer training. You want to stick that real quick? In addition to what we're doing here today, there's this online training that for council leaders and treasurers, it's required for you to complete. Once you do it, it takes about 30 minutes. At the end, you'll take a little quiz, and you will be eligible for a $25 gift card for membership benefits. It's just going to hit on the same stuff we're going over today. If you want, you can take it on your own time. It's just something later on to do. And that pink sheet tells you a direct link of where you can go to find that as well.
So if we're not a treasurer, we can all take it just to get a $25 gift card?
Anybody can take it, but only the treasurer and council leader at this time get a gift card for doing it.
Can I take it 10 times?
What was that? If you took the treasurer training?
Yeah.
Only the treasurer and the council will get
Everything's on that
$25.
website.
Only the treasurer and the council will
You can
get
find your constitution.
$25.
You didn't have anybody run to be treasurer for your division, which happens. They don't want to be involved with the financial matters. You could be up to date at a certain point in time, have all your reports in, but you simply didn't get paid because you don't have an active treasurer at that moment. So in those situations, you want to reach out to Christy. Maybe you got to ask her to run a special election to send out a mailing to find that next treasurer. You're only allowed in your, whether it's a checking account or a purchase card, to accumulate so much of a balance for your division. And this is the either, depending on the size of your division, $5,000 or the sum of your prior 4 per capitas. So in certain cases, if you're a very large division, you get $3,000 a quarter. That's 4 of those are obviously more than $5,000. For your division, that maximum allotment is going to be $12,000. And what that means is we go to pay you, we see that you're not necessarily overfunded, but you have too much in your account, and we'll just withhold that payment for the quarter. There's no penalty, but in order to receive that next payment, you do have to spend the balance down.
And
Bless you.
that's important to know, because you don't lose that money, right? That money just sits in the account until you come down under the balance.
You need to be notified that the balance is now below.
We will catch it at the next quarterly payment, because we're only looking on a quarterly basis. Are you eligible for payment? So if we saw that you were eligible, you'd get 2 payments that quarter if you weren't to contact us in between. All right. Go to how that deposit is calculated. Christy had mentioned you don't get any payment for fee payers. You're only paid for the members of your division, and this is based on the members for your prior quarter. So we're getting ready now to pay divisions at the end of this month, so it'll be September. And what we're going to base those calculations on are the members we show for your agency that were on file for the pay periods between April and the end of June. So it is based on the prior. There's a lag there, and that'll be important later. Just remember that little note. The current rate right now, so if you're a small division, less than 200 members, you get $31.40 per member a year. What that works out to quarterly that we pay you is $7.85 per member. If you're a larger division, that rate does go down to $25.11 per member. So each additional member over $200, you would only receive $6.28 a quarter. These rates do go up, so they just went up as we ratified the last contract. With the 2% raise, they went up to what they are listed on here. Come next April 1st, 2018, there'll be an additional 2% added to each of these. Services we provide in finance, so on a quarterly basis, we're making those payments to you. We're also mailing out a quarterly packet, and in there is a communication from us. It'll be a letter just letting you know what report's coming up due next, and with that, we're providing you the forms for that report, so the blank forms for it. The member counts, so you were paid on a certain amount of members. We give you the breakdown by week, what we showed as the members that were in your division, and the number that was used to pay you. A current membership and a fee payer list, so that's your list to see who's showing as a fee payer right now, who you need to reach out to and have them join PEF either online or with a pef.mbp.com. Right under About Us. And I know it's blurry up here, but there's a Join PEF. And they can do this on their own if you just tell them where it is. Right here it says Enroll Online Today. So they just have to click on there. It loads up a form for them to enter their name, who their steward is, what division. And once they submit their information here, it can be done online, and we'll get record of that.
Can you repeat the website?
Yep. So it's www.by-mbp, and that's for a membership benefits program.
BUP members, right? We have about 52,000 that are members, and we have about 2,500 that are fee payers. I would say out of that 2,500, probably a third actually want to be fee payers. I would say the other 50% to 2/3 don't know the difference. Years ago, we took measures to try to delineate on your pay stubs that it says agency shop fee payer or PEF member. I just got off the phone with a person that is a fee payer and doesn't know, thought he was a member.
Yep.
And so you have that. So reach out to these members, and try to explain what the difference is, because a lot of them don't realize that they're not members. Yes.
These people that don't realize that they're not members, that have been paying in.
If you're a checkbook, that's a remittance slip. If you're a purchase card, you'll have a ledger that will show that payment amount. Checkbook divisions are going to get their most recent bank statement. Purchase card divisions The equivalent of that is our detailed trial balance. That also comes in your quarterly packet. So we had spoke about this, that 13-week report. It's your member counts. It's what we base your per capita payment on. This one on the paper in front of you is running from January through March. That would have been for the June payment. So there's a lag there. And as you were discussing with Christie, there's some anomalies here. You know, if certain employees are per diem, they work this week, they don't work the next week. You know, as you see there was 200 members, there's 198 members. We take the average of that. Sometimes it goes up, 199. You'll get the average of that quarter for your members. Deductions from payment, these would be amounts authorized by your council leader or treasurer. So if you contact our PR department, you order a plaque for somebody retiring or recognition, and we ship that out to you. You'll see a cost come off your payment to your division as we're making it.
You're not gonna pay for that for us? We tell you?
We subsidize it quite a bit. We help for you. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But, the plaques are there. If you do a mailing, say you need to contact your members, you're offering a scholarship for your membership, and you need to mail everybody a letter announcing it and how they can apply for it. You can request that to MIS, give them the letter that you want sent, we'll stick labels on it, we'll mail it for you, that would come off your per capita, we just bill it back to you. The current division listing, so this is the one we send you, that shows you your members and fee payers. This one, as I was mentioning,
Every week, or 2 days, 1 week, 1 day, another. So they spread my vacation time out to cover my expenses like the union dues, health insurance, all that stuff. And it kept me on the payroll, but not getting the pay. There was no pay, at some point. That's something that they can do. The state's pretty good about that.
What do? You tell human personnel this? Do personnel know this in the facilities that you work in about this?
Well, the first time.
forms for doing this are available in the accounting department. We would send that to you, you get it signed, send it back to us, we'll send it on to the bank to be processed. Takes about a week and a half now to get that updated. But you return them to us for final processing and we send it to the bank. For checkbook divisions, bank statements are mailed to the council leader and treasurer 2 weeks after the end of each month. If you require additional checks, you've used all the ones you have, you just gotta let us know what was the last check number you left off on. We'll order additional checks for your division. The cost of those are paid for big pet. You won't see a charge in your account. If you do, just let us know and we'll pay you a deposit for that amount. Again, one of the problems with checkbooks, people either went to the card or just more convenient. Some businesses won't accept checks anymore. And the other reason for it being checks without an address on them. So a lot of our checks were just Division 190, and it doesn't say anything underneath. They just won't accept a check like that without an address. So when we order additional checks for you, if they don't already, just let us know what address you want printed on there. Either maybe your division has an actual physical address, your agency location. If you don't want to use either of those, we will use the closest field office that is, or your division is in the region.
Okay, I'm just curious, because I think we really don't want checks, but if we stay with checks, can the checkbook actually have your physical address? Because the problem now I found is, like, last year, nobody wanted to take the checks. I just gave up and paid for it out of pocket and got reimbursed with receipts. But we do Christmas every year. So they want to compare the check address against your driver's license. So now you're still stuck in the same position. Wherever you're going, Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, doesn't even like checks.
Just because it's going to change, like the officers.
Okay. So then it's just better.
And it's not just you writing the check either, right? It could be your treasurer presenting the check.
Or a physical address.
Is the P.O. Box your agency?
No, our division has its own PO box.
That would be fine.
That would be okay?
Yeah. So, talking about that general register quarterly report, you can see on this page, but it looks like this. And I have copies of those, all the reports we're going over today over there. This is prepared every 3 months, and what this is just a listing of both checks that you're writing and a payment that PEP has paid you. If you have written a check, say a deposit for a picnic, and at the end of the picnic you pay for it in full, they give you your deposit back. If you're gonna void that check, you should also list the voids here, because as Nicole is reviewing them, if she sees a gap in the numbers, she could also mark your report pending, what happened to this check that's not listed. And then you won't get paid for that quarter. This report needs to be reviewed by the council leader and treasurer. There's a spot for them to sign at the bottom, right here. And attached to this is where those division expense vouchers and the supporting documentation come in. So the division expense voucher documents approval of the expense. So before I mentioned, you may have a signer that isn't necessarily the treasurer or the council leader, or just a plain member of your division. And we do that because they're not available, but we need to hold an event, so a member may help your division by signing a check. What the voucher does is make sure that the officers who can approve the check are aware of that expenditure and they know about it. So that's why they sign this and they sign the expense voucher that we're going to cover further on, which is right here. So, this one, you want to completely fill it out. Fill out who's being paid, the amount being paid, the date, and in that description, there's a big area for that. Elaborate here, so if you're having a membership meeting, don't just write membership meeting. Membership meeting to discuss these issues going on, or even 2 or 3 things, that's where they need to sign and say, all right, I agree with this. This is what I am providing, whether it's, for example, a DJ service for a holiday event. They may not give you a receipt, so this is something that could be used. I agreed to provide 3 hours of service for DJ music on this date. They could sign at the bottom. That's a good receipt for us.
Do we have a use case example?
Good question. TEF itself is,
Yeah,
it's
I don't know, I haven't. Yeah.
income tax exempt because we're not for profit, but
Yeah.
everything that we do when we're paying for goods and services, we do pay sales tax. So there's no form. If you're buying anything or a service, you should be paying your sales tax on it.
Tell me a question.
Yep.
Do I use this for, like, all my receipts or each individual?
Have to, because while this is used for the checkbooks, this form is basically covered through the online sign-off process. Like, we do the same things online. I guess you could still use it as a purchase card example as a vendor, like if you need to write out a receipt, use it in that regard, but do you need a